Welcome. This is a test run practice of giving an explanation on how to do daily planning utilizing peripheral vision. And so first, before we get us started, there's a couple personal presuppositions that I use for myself that seem to make this easier. And first one is that my mind can access any information it needs, and I can recall it consciously within an instant when asked for that information. So basically, that's an internal command such as I remember when blah, blah, blah. So I remember when I last took my car to the dealership, and I can immediately access all the information related to the time, visually, like what was going on, the day, time, what the temperature was, etc. Secondly, the next presupposition is my unconscious mind works to assist me by bringing to attention any additional information I may need to be successful. So, for example, if I was planning on going to the dealership and that I also needed to pick up a car accessory at the same time while I'm scheduling that appointment at the car dealership, I would suddenly remember, oh, I need to go ahead and order this, whatever that accessory is. And then thirdly or lastly, my mind can predict outcomes with a high rate of probability considering all the known factors. And basically, in essence, what's going on there, it's if you've seen the Limitless movie or TV show with Bradley Cooper, it's basically you see him accessing and utilizing more of his mind to, again, come with high rates of probability that allows him to predict likely outcomes. And so it's kind of a similar presupposition or principle, and not saying it's perfect, but it's pretty useful. And so first up, the more you practice this, the easier and quicker it should get. At first, of course, don't rush yourself. So what that would look like is initially you want to be in a nice kind of calm, quiet space without any distraction. And, you could be sitting, you could be standing. I can tell you personally now, I could do this driving. I could do this while even sometimes in conversation, if I find myself getting lost in a conversation and not fully hearing what somebody's saying. It just the more you do it, the faster you get at it too. Within an instant, you can produce the results. And so, but first, allow yourself to get comfortable. And again, hopefully right now you're taking that opportunity to, whether sit, stand, or whatever, get yourself in a good, calm, clear, quiet space. Next up is, basically activating this peripheral vision. If we think about it, peripheral vision actually ties into our parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, in particular the parasympathetic, where we relax and get into that kind of rest and digest, fully conscious, fully aware, focus in allowing more information to come in, versus when we get what's called foveal, that's more of the sympathetic nervous system stress response of pinpoint focusing on basically what is the danger or threat that's going to get us, And so again, we're looking to activate the peripheral vision. And so the easy kind of stepwise process to do it is simply to first kind of, you can, two different ways I'll give you. One, choose just a point on a wall or out on the horizon. You want the point, though, to be either at eye level or even slightly above. And reason being is in NLP, we learn our internal representation systems and where we are storing or categorizing our information. And our visual typically is basically from the eye line slightly above. And so that's where we want to access. So I recommend to patients often to, like, say, for instance, if they go for walks, instead of looking down at the ground, to pick their eyes up and look as far into the horizon as they can see. And that helps, again, shift their body out of that stress response. Again, what's the small little thing in front of you that's going to get you, to being in that kind of parasympathetic, kind of stress-free healing response mode. So you want to go ahead and pick a point and then basically allow your eyes to relax. Start to take in as much information as you can from each side. And if you can see my hands here. I'm even subtly moving them back to kind of push the edges of where my eyes and my field of view is relaxed to at this point. And then as you relax more and more, you can allow that field of view to actually get even bigger, as well as even taller. And again, when you're out, say, walking, for instance, we're in Phoenix here. We've got all these great mountains that are off on the horizon. You start to take in all of the environment around you. And so just allow that awareness to expand, not necessarily focusing on anything, but just allowing that information, all of that relaxed peripheral awareness to come in. And continuing to do so, you'll get to the point and you'll start to feel a kind of almost calming or relaxed sensation. I anchor a kind of a deep, meditative breath with that process, just so that, again, say for instance, when I'm driving, if I'm stressed out, I go ahead and just relax, take a deep breath, and then boom, I'm in the state that I'm desiring. And so that would be the first part about activating that peripheral vision. And so then secondary to that is when you're working on, say for instance, planning your day, right? So you wake up in the morning, you got, excuse my language, shit to do, and you're gonna go get it done. But you don't exactly remember everything. You didn't remember to write everything on your list the day before, right? You can start going foveal focus on like all the little things that might not work out. I would offer instead trusting that unconscious mind to recall the information at any time that you need when you ask for it. Simply to, again, be in that peripheral vision, be in that peripheral state. And then just the way I do it for myself, I just say, what do I need to do today? And allow whatever that unconscious thought to become conscious of. I need to make these number of calls for work. I need to, go to the car dealership. Obviously, I got to go take care of the car dealership this week, so that's on my mind. And whatever those things are, allow them to bubble up, and then say to yourself, what do I need to do for that to get done? And so that can be something as simply of, I need to call and schedule with the service department, or I need to make sure that I get to my office space here to be able to be in a calm, quiet environment to be able to do my calls for work. And so I need to do that by, say, like this morning, I had to get here by 9:30. And so that's what that ends up being. And so, and it helps too in terms of like a goal setting and time management response to actually, again, keep your stress levels down, is to put the exact thing that it is that needs to get done, put how it needs to get done, and then put a time frame on it. And so what that does is it creates a checkbox, similar to like if you're in a video game level and you're trying to beat it and it's got a timer, you have to get it done within that amount of time. Otherwise, again, the alarms go off and you don't actually get it done. Part of that visualizing the how and within the time, I will do a visualization of myself doing it, right? So driving over to where the dealership is, for instance, or getting in the car in the morning to make sure that I'm hitting, so if I have to be here at 9:30, I got to get in the car by 9:15 at the latest, right? So make sure I get in the car, see the clock says 9:15, I know I'm good to go, I'm going to drive here, no problem. And just, again, that can help layer in some more confidence into this, because the more times I've successfully done that, right, I've got a reference frame of knowing that I can set basically this goal or this thing that I need to get done, and I can do it. And I can do it in a timely manner with which the way I set out to do it. And so each time you're doing that, it should feel good. You should stay in that relaxed peripheral state and feel like, again, it's just going to naturally flow. And then to kind of wrap it up if I need to, and say there's an X factor or something else, and I'll just ask my unconscious mind, is there anything else I missed? Right? Because I might have missed something, that didn't exactly come up the first way I asked the question. And that'll be, for instance, like I know I got to stop by, we do Costco gas. I got to stop by and get Costco gas, probably going to be on Friday, right? So that's going to come up. I could do it today, right? But I don't need to do it today. But that's something that if say, for instance, I wanted to get done today, I would feel like I missed it, right? And I would get home at the end of the day and be like, oh, shoot, I forgot to do that. So I give myself the opportunity to allow any of those to come up. And again, if I identify, for instance, in this situation, that I really don't need to get it done until Friday, then I'll create that part on my mental, to-do list. of, all right, I got to make time on Friday to go get Costco gas, right? And so that's just, again, a way to sit there and create the overarching kind of plan for the day, create the timing to it, the sequence to it, visualize it all, and then allowing for anything that's, potential X factor. Sometimes it doesn't always, like if I've got new or different things on my schedule and it's not a normal day, I'll have to go reference emails or whatever and basically come out of Peripheral and do that. But then usually after I do that, I'll go back into Peripheral and again, visualize or see that day and have myself prepared for it. And so then that way it just sets it up so that it overall feels good. I feel relaxed. I know a lot of people that have sleeping problems, for instance. Doing this before sleep is helpful, / doing it before it's even time to wind down for the end of the day. So a lot of times I'll do this at the end of the day, like we're almost at the end of the day here, and be ready to go ahead and just have my day tomorrow planned. And so that I know that if I know that helps for my evening, then if I've got, say, extra time to socialize with friends because I don't have something pertinent in the morning to do, then I'll have the flexibility to do that, right? Or if I know that I've got to be up and ready and there's a call that's earlier than my normal call times, then I'll be up and ready to do that. I'll try to go to bed a little earlier, right? So there's certain benefits to, again, not only doing this at the start of the day, but sometimes doing it earlier in the week, or again, having a big picture and then having these little pictures. But it's all practice. The more you practice, the easier it gets. And ultimately to where, again, you can just, I'm sitting at a red light and just sitting there and be like, all right, what do I got to get done? It's 4:00. I'm tired. I got about, not this much in the gas tank, but this much in my personal tank. What do I got to get done? And then just allow it, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I got to stop, get groceries, get water, go ahead and run the car through the car wash and get home. That'll get me home by about 6:30. All right, enough time to make dinner. All right, we're good. And then I'm off. And then in basically task execution mode. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful. Appreciate any feedback. And rock and roll.